Hello aspirants, hello and welcome. This is Ayesha Khan, your UGC NET English educator at Super Coaching by Testbook. Welcome to today's session wherein we're going to discuss questions from Indian literature. Hanji, welcome everyone. We're going to discuss questions from Indian novelists specifically. Hanji, good afternoon everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon, Ranji, Debashish, Tony, good afternoon. Chaliye, let's begin with today's session then. Chaliye, theek hai, let's begin with today's session. Today's session begins with the first question. The first question asks, which Indian writer has authored the following novels? You're given the name of some novels. You have to tell me the author. The novels are so memorable, Some Memorable Yesterdays, So Many Hungers, Indian Cavalcade, He Who Rides a Tiger, or The Golden Boat. These are the 5 novels. You have to tell me the author. Hanji, start answering. Hanji, start answering. Good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon Ankita, good afternoon. चलिए, आपका क्वेश्चन है which Indian writer has authored these following novels? The novels are Some Memorable Yesterdays, So Many Hungers, Indian Cavalcade, He Who Rides a Tiger, or The Golden Boat. Your options are Bhabani Bhattacharya, Kamala Markandeya, Arundhati Roy, or Amitav Ghosh. Hanji, start answering please. Important question, important authors, all of these authors are important. Okay, so most of you think the answer should either be A or D. Okay, A, which is? Okay, Bhabani Bhattacharya or Amitav Ghosh. ठीक है, okay. Okay, Shabnam thinks the answer should be B, Kamala Markandeya. Okay, ठीक है, और बताइए. अच्छा, जो इसका आंसर है क्वेश्चन का, इस ऑथर के बारे में आपका जो जून का एग्ज़ाम हुआ है अभी, 18 जून एग्ज़ाम इंग्लिश लिटरेचर का जो हुआ है UGC नेट, उसमें एक क्वेश्चन भी आया था. हाँ जी. चलिए आंसर देख लेते हैं. द आंसर इज भवानी भट्टाचार्य, ऑप्शन ए. भवानी भट्टाचार्य जो आपके इंडियन ऑथर हैं, बंगाली ओरिजिन के ये ऑथर थे. ही यूज्ड टू राइट सोशल रियलिस्टिक नॉवेल्स, राइट. उनकी फर्स्ट नॉवल वाज कॉल्ड So Many Hungers. Look at the publication here. Bhavani Bhattacharya की जो first novel है was published in the year 1947, which is also the year of Indian independence. It was published a few months after independence, right? So besides So Many novels, So Many Hungers, we have Some Memorable Yesterdays, Indian Cavalcade, He Who Rides a Tiger, and The Golden Boats. These are the Golden Boat. These are the novels by Bhabani Bhattacharya, the Indian writer, right? That's your first question. Second question is, who is the author of the novel The Golden Gate, written entirely in verse? So this is a novel which is written entirely in verse, right? This is not a prose novel. So you have to tell me the name of the author. Is it Vikram Seth? Is it Salman Rushdie? Is it Arundhati Roy? Or again, is it Amitav Ghosh? Hanji. Okay, Tony thinks the answer should be Vikram Seth. Okay, Hanji, Vikram Seth, ठीक है. और बताइए. Should it be Arundhati Roy, Amitav Ghosh, or Salman Rushdie? Okay, most of you think the answer should be B, Salman Rushdie. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, ठीक है. चलो then answer देख लेते हैं. Question number 2. Who is the author of the novel? The novel is called The Golden Gate. What is peculiar about this novel is this is not your usual prose novel. Rather, this is a verse novel. This is a novel that was written in verse. It's a verse novel called The Golden Gate, and the author of this novel is Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth, who's also the author of A Suitable Boy, right? The very, very important novel. So Vikram Seth authored The Golden Gate. It was published in the year 1986, right? Remember the publication year was 1986, and this is the very first novel ever written by Vikram Seth, right? The novel was inspired by Charles Johnston's translation of Pushkin's work Eugene Onegin, which is also subtitled A Novel in Verse. आपके जो रशियन ऑथर हैं पुष्किन, उनकी एक एलेक्जेंडर पुष्किन, उनकी एक नॉवल है, इट्स अ क्लासिक वर्क ऑफ रशियन लिटरेचर कॉल्ड यूजीन ओनेजिन, विच इज़ अ नॉवल इन वर्स. इससे इंस्पायर होकर विक्रम सेठ रोट अ नॉवल कॉल्ड द गोल्डन गेट, विच वाज आल्सो रिटन इन वर्स. दैट्स योर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज which of these novel author pair is incorrectly matched? You've been given the novel's name, you've been given the author's name, you have to tell me कि किस इनमें से कौन सा pair is incorrectly matched. हाँ जी. Yes, The Suitable Boy is a very very popular novel by Vikram Seth. That's correct. ठीक है, start answering this particular novel. Answer. हाँ जी. The first option is The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Then we have Kantapura by R.K. Narayan. Then we have Kuli by Mulk Raj Anand. Or is it A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth? Now some of you are saying Vikram Seth wrote Suitable Boy. This is why this option is eliminated. This is the correct pair, right? Look at the other three pairs. हाँ जी. The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, Kantapura by R.K. Narayan, Kuli by Mulk Raj Anand, and we've already eliminated the last option, which is A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. चलिए आप बता दीजिए आंसर. हाँ जी, easy question. Okay, so most of you say the answer should be B, which is Kantapura by R.K. Narayan, because the actual author of Kantapura was not R.K. Narayan, but was Raja Rao. It was Raja Rao's first and also his best novel. Now the novel is called Kantapura. The title comes from the name of the setting. The setting of the village where the story is set is also called Kantapura. So this is where we get the setting's name from, right? It is an Indian village. Acha, the novel is narrated by a very very old woman of the village, and this woman is actually an observer, right? She sits in a corner and she observes all the minor and major events in whichever take place in the village. The woman is called Achakka, right? And the novel is narrated in form of a Sthal Puran. Basically religious narrations जैसे होती हैं उस तरह की narration है हमारे पास कांतापुरा में. हाँ जी. So because it's narrated by a grandmother like woman, right? So there's a lot of digressions जो हम narrative में देखने को मिलती हैं. Many digressions. We have smaller narratives which are interspersed within the bigger narrative. That's your Kantapura by Raja Rao. चलिए next move. हाँ जी, it's by Raja Rao. Yes, correct. ठीक है. Let's look at the next question. Next question says Difficult Daughters by Manju Kapoor. Difficult Daughters by Manju Kapoor is a novel about Veermati who rebels against her society by doing which of the following four things? Does she pursue higher education? Does she join the freedom movement? Does she marry against her family's wishes? Or does she become a political activist? एक इंडियन ऑथर है मंजू कपूर, उनकी एक नॉवल है कॉल्ड डिफिकल्ट डॉटर्स. उसमें हमारी जो प्रोटैगनिस्ट होती है उनका नाम होता है वीरमती. Protagonist is a girl called Veermati. Now she does something very very rebellious in the novel, and this displeases her entire family. What is it? Does she become a political activist? Does she marry against the family's wishes? Does she join the freedom struggle? Or lastly, does she pursue higher education? Important novel by Manju Kapoor. हाँ जी. Manju Kapoor, Difficult Daughters. This is a partition novel set around the partition time. हाँ जी, independence struggle के around partition के around ये set है novel. Okay, so most of you think the answer should be either A or D, which is pursuing higher education or becoming a political activist. अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. Ishita thinks the answer should be B, joining the freedom movement. Okay. B mostly, most probably B is what you people think. ठीक है, चलिए देख लेते हैं. The answer to this question is neither A nor B nor D. The answer is marrying against her family's wishes. We have the character of Veermati, and Veermati ends up marrying her own professor, the professor who already is married, right? He has a family, so Veermati ends up marrying the professor, who by the way is much older than her, and that displeases her entire family, right? We have Difficult Daughters by Manju Kapoor, set against the backdrop of the India during the independence and the partition time, right? The novel revolves around Veermati, who is a young woman who rebels against societal norms and expectations. Why? She marries a man named Harish, who is her own professor and who is much older than Veermati herself. That's Difficult Daughters by Manju Kapoor. हाँ जी, चलिए. Let's move on to the next question. The next question asks, the character Bakha, who is a young sweeper, appears in which of the following novels? Does he appear in The Big Heart? Does he appear in Coolie? Or does he appear in Two Leaves and a Bud or Untouchable? These are 4 novels written by the author Mulk Raj Anand. Mulk Raj Anand ने 4 novels लिखी हैं. उनमें से आपको बताना है इनमें से किस novel में बखा नाम का एक character हमारे पास है. Which of these novels features a character named Bakha, who is actually a sweeper, right? हाँ जी. The voice is slow. Let me just fix it. Give me a minute. हाँ जी. Meanwhile, you people start answering this question. हाँ जी, start answering the question. The question is, the character Bakha appears in which of the novels by Mulk Raj Anand? Is it The Big Heart? Is it Coolie? Is it Two Leaves and a Bud? Or is it The Untouchable? Most of you think the answer should either be A, The Big Heart, or okay, somebody says Untouchable. ठीक है. और बताइए, the rest of you, what do you think? Bakha, Mulk Raj Anand, हमारे जो इंडियन नॉवलिस्ट थे, उन्होंने एक कैरेक्टर क्रिएट किया था. His name was Bakha. He was a sweeper boy. हाँ जी. हाँ जी. The options are The Big Heart, Coolie, Two Leaves and a Bud, or Untouchable. हाँ जी, let's look at the answer to this question. The answer is Untouchable. Untouchable, which was a novel by Mulk Raj Anand, which was published in the year 1935, that is before independence, right? The novel talks about the caste system that plagues the entire Indian society, okay? So we have a character named Bakha. The book was actually inspired by Mulk Raj Anand's own experience. His aunt, who had a meal with a Muslim woman, was ostracized by society, and that inspired him to write the novel Untouchable. The character we have is called Bakha, who is a sweeper boy, who is also the untouchable boy in the novel, right? All right, next question that you have is The Glass Palace. In The Glass Palace, which character rises from a poor orphan background and becomes a successful businessman? Is it Rajkumar? Is it Arjun, Dinu, or Uma? अमिताभ घोष की नॉवल है The Glass Palace. You have to tell me who is the character in this particular novel who is initially very poor, but he goes on to become a successful businessman by the end of the novel. हाँ जी. In The Glass Palace, which character rises from being an orphan, a poor orphan, to becoming a successful businessman? Is it Rajkumar, is it Arjun, is it Dinu, or is it Uma? Okay, so most of you think the answer should be Dinu. C, Dinu. ठीक है, Ankita, thank you for confirming. The voice is okay now. ठीक है, okay. अच्छा, most of you think the answer should either be C or A, which is Dinu or Rajkumar. Okay, okay, let's look at the answer now. The answer is Rajkumar. Rajkumar is a character in the novel The Glass Palace, and he goes on to become a successful businessman. Glass Palace, which was published in the year 2000, it's a historical fiction novel. The novel is set in Burma, Bengal, India and Malaya, and we have the character Rajkumar, who initially, when the novel begins, he is a minor character, he's an orphan, right? His family has all died and he's the only last surviving member of the family, right? Then this character will go on and become a very, very successful businessman. So the novel, The Glass Palace, is actually going to trace his growth throughout, right? हाँ जी, चलिए, next question is, the novel Tamas is written by which novelist? Tamas एक novel है. Who is the novelist of this particular novel? Who is the author? Is it Bhisham Sahani, Amrita Pritam, Khushwant Singh or Mulkraj Anand? हाँ जी, भीष्म साहनी, अमृता प्रीतम, खुशवंत सिंह और मुल्कराज आनंद. ठीक है देबशीष, आई हैव हैड अ लुक एट योर क्वेरी, आई एड्रेस दैट, डोंट वरी. ठीक है, ठीक है, यू विल बी प्रोवाइडेड विद ऑल द पीडीएफ्स, ऑल द यूट्यूब सेशन दैट वी हैव, जितने भी हम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं, आई मेक श्योर यू गेट द पीडीएफ्स, राइट? फॉर नाउ जस्ट लेट्स जस्ट आंसर द क्वेश्चन. द नॉवल तमस, तमस जो नॉवल है वो किस ऑथर ने लिखी है? अच्छा, this particular novel was initially written in Hindi and the author himself translated the novel to English. ठीक है, तो तमस ओरिजिनली हिंदी में लिखी गई थी, फिर जो ऑथर हैं उन्होंने खुद ही इसको इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट किया था. So the answer should be 7 says 2 7. Okay, A. Okay, B. Debashish thinks the answer should be B. Amrita Pritam. ठीक है. This novel is also, by the way, it's a partition novel. So the events, the setting is at the time of the Indian partition, right? हाँ जी, चलिए आंसर देख लेते हैं to this question. Then the answer to this question is Bhishma Sahani. Bhishma Sahani. Bhishma Sahani, who was also, by the way, the brother of a very, very famous Indian veteran Indian actor called Balraj Sahani, right? हाँ जी, चलो. Tamas, which was penned by Bhisham Sahani. The year of publication was 1974. The novel was also awarded the important, the very, very prestigious Sahitya Academy Award in the year 1975, right? This is Tamas for you. It talks about, it is centered, it is set around the time of the 1947 partition, the communal rights that ensued after the partition, right? That's your Tamas for you. हाँ जी, चलिए, should we move on? ठीक है. Next question would be the Ibis trilogy. Important question. This has been asked in UGC NET exam in the previous years. The Ibis trilogy by Amitav Ghosh consists of which of the following novels? So the Ibis trilogy, which is a collection of 3 novels, you have to tell me which of these 3 novels form the Ibis trilogy by Amitav Ghosh. हाँ जी, चलिए start answering important question. Amitav Ghosh is an important author as well. Okay, A, B, ठीक है, A, B, 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 Sea of Poppies, River of Smoke, Flood of Fire. अच्छा, और बताइए, Ibis trilogy, which is a novel by Amitav Ghosh, उसमें कौन सी 3 novels included होती हैं? Is it the Shadow Line, Sea of Poppies or Flood of Fire, or is it Sea of Poppies, River of Smoke or Flood of Fire, or is it Glass Palace, Calcutta Chromosome, The Hungry Tide, या फिर lastly is it Circle of Reason, The Shadow Lines or The Great Derangement? All these novels are actually by Amitav Ghosh, the Indian author, who is also currently very actively writing. हाँ दी, the answer is, अच्छा ठीक है, चलो फिर आंसर देख लेते हैं to this question. The answer is Sea of Poppies, River of Smoke and Flood of Fire. These 3 novels together, they make up what is called the Ibis trilogy, right? Together these 3 novels make up what is called the Ibis trilogy. The author is Amitav Ghosh. The novels were published in the year 2008. In Sea of Poppies was published in 2008. Then we have River of Smoke published in 2011. Then we have Flood of Fire, which was published in 2015, and these three works together they form something called the Ibis trilogy, right? This is a work of post-colonial literature. इनकी सेटिंग क्या है? नॉवेल्स की सेटिंग है ओपियम वॉर. द फर्स्ट ओपियम वॉर हुआ था. दिस इज व्हेन दीज थ्री नॉवेल्स आर सेट, राइट? दैट्स आइबिस ट्रिलॉजी. Shabnam, we'll definitely have a session on chronology. Yeah, don't worry. We'll have a session on chronology wherein we'll solve questions, novels और works को, writers को chronology के हिसाब से we'll arrange. Don't worry. ठीक है, noted. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपका आ जाता है. द नॉवल वी ऑलरेडी टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर नॉवल. हमारा जो सैटरडे का सेशन हुआ था जहाँ पर हमने बात की है बुकर प्राइज विनर नॉवेल्स की, वहाँ पर हमने इसका ऑलरेडी एक बार डिस्कशन कर ली है. बट द क्वेश्चन इज द नॉवल टूम्ब ऑफ सैंड रिटन बाय गीतांजलि श्री which won the International Booker Prize in the year 2022. Who translated the novel into English, right? ये जो novel है आपके पास called Tomb of Sand, this was originally written in this novel was originally written in an Indian language. It was written in Hindi. So Gitanjali Shri wrote this novel in Hindi, and then another translator translated this to English. You have to tell me the name of the translator. Is it Michael Hoffman? Is it Amitav Ghosh? Is it Jerry Pinto? Or is it Daisy Rockwell? Hanji, start answering. Tomb of Sand, very, very popular novel. This was very much in news recently because of the award that it won. This also is the first ever novel written in Indian language to win the International Booker Prize. So you have to tell me the name of the translator. Because in this case, not only the author but the translator is also equally important. This is why the prize, the International Booker Prize, is actually divided equally between the author of the work and the translator of the work, right? So you have to tell me the writer who translated this to English. Okay, most of you think the answer should either be C, Jerry Pinto. No, Jerry Pinto is not the answer. Eliminate Jerry Pinto. Jerry Pinto is not the answer. Hanji. Good afternoon for those of you who've just joined. Hanji, answer bata dijiye. We are on the ninth question which says, who is the translator of the novel Tomb of Sand, which was awarded the 2022 International Booker Prize? Important work. Again, this is also a partition novel. Hanji. Chaliye. चलिए लेट्स लुक एट द आंसर. देन द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज डेजी रॉकवेल. डेजी रॉकवेल हमारे पास एक ट्रांसलेटर हैं. उन्होंने टूम्ब ऑफ सैंड को इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट किया था फ्रॉम हिंदी. द नॉवल वाज ओरिजिनली रिटन इन हिंदी बाय गीतांजलि श्री. अच्छा, इसका हिंदी टाइटल है रेत समाधि. रेत बीइंग सैंड एंड समाधि बीइंग टूम्ब, हेंस द टाइटल टूम्ब ऑफ सैंड. टूम्ब ऑफ सैंड मीन्स रेत समाधि. द राइटर वाज Gitanjali Shri. The translator is Daisy Rockwell. In 2002, this is 2022, this is very important. This is an important fact about the novel. In 2022, the book became the first ever novel translated from an Indian language to win the prestigious International Booker Prize. The International Booker Prize is actually awarded to any in a non-English language and then translated into English, right? Hanji. Chaliye, your next question is, for which novel has Anuradha Roy won the Sahitya Academy Award? Another important work. Hanji. Anuradha Roy एक Indian author हैं. She was awarded the the Sahitya Academy Award, the prestigious Sahitya Academy Award, for which of her novels? All these 4 novels are written by Anuradha Roy. We have The Folded Earth, Sleeping on Jupiter, All the Lives We Never Lived, and The Earth Spinner. Hanji, start answering. Anuradha Roy. Chalo, important question, another question which involves a certain award. Anuradha Roy, who is an Indian author who has authored novels such as The Folded Earth, Sleeping on Jupiter, All the Lives We Never Lived, and The Earth Spinner. She has also authored another work called An Atlas of, this was her first ever novel called An Atlas of Impossible Longing. This is Anuradha Roy. this is all her body of works. You have to tell me the one book for which she won the Sahitya Academy Award. ठीक है. Devashish thinks the answer will be sleeping on Jupiter. D, C. Okay, okay, ठीक है. हाँ जी, important question. No, the D is not the answer. Earth spinner is not the answer. Let's just eliminate earth spinner. Now you have 3 more options left. Chaliye, now start answering. Earth spinner is not the answer. चलिए, let's look at the answer now. Answer देख लेते हैं. Answer is चलिए, the answer to this question is all the lives we never lived. अनुराधा रॉय, who is an Indian author, उनको साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड मिला है for her novel called All the Lives We Never Lived. Although novel was published in 2018 और जो अवार्ड मिला है वो recently मिला है, right? So, Anuradha Roy, an Indian novelist, journalist and editor, the body of works that she has produced includes 5 novels which are given in a chronological order. You have An Atlas of Impossible Longing, then you have The Folded Earth, you have Sleeping on Jupiter, which talks about the sexual trauma that the central character goes through. Then we have All the Lives Which Never Lived, which is the answer to the question in, that we're talking about. Then we have The Earth Spinner, right? It was in 2022. Now look, the novel was published in 2018, but it was in 2022 that the novel won the Sahitya Academy Award. Anuradha Roy. हाँ जी. ठीक है, that brings us to the end of today's session. Today's session has been about the Indian novelists. We've talked about novels written by Indian novelists, those of them which were written in English and those which have been translated to English, right? Now, what I expect you people to do is make a list of all the writers. अच्छा, for homework, Saturday को जो हमारी class हुई थी, I gave you this homework that you have to give me a list of all the Indian authors who've been awarded the Booker Prize and make sure that there's a chronology to it. So this is something that I want you people to drop down in the comment box. Make sure कि आप अपने जो homework जिन्होंने किया है वहाँ पर एक list लिख दो, ठीक है? All the authors who have won the Booker Prize India से and their works as well. So एक chronological order में I need a list of all the works, ठीक है? If you've done that homework, I would love to see that. हाँ जी, अब हम क्या करेंगे? In the master class, we will continue these questions there, right? We are left with a lot of questions about Indian literature, Indian novels के बारे में. We're going to continue those questions there, ठीक है? Meanwhile, what you can do is make sure कि आप मेरे साथ connected हो on the Telegram channel, right? That's where you get notified from जब आपको कोई भी session start होगा. हाँ जी, चलिए, ठीक है, ओके. अच्छा, हमारी जो रेगुलर क्लासेज हैं, जो हमारा फाउंडेशन कोर्स है दिसंबर 2024 के लिए, दिसंबर 2024 के लिए वो स्टार्ट हो चुका है. वी हैव हैड अ फ्यू क्लासेज ऑलरेडी, राइट, बट ज़्यादा मिस नहीं हुआ है. सो इफ़ यू पीपल आर थिंकिंग ऑफ एनरोलिंग, मेक श्योर यू एनरोल वेरी सून, राइट. यू कैन यूज़ माई कोड Ayesha K and you will also get a discount on the fee, ठीक है? हाँ जी, with that I'll be signing out and I'll see you very soon and we'll solve another questions from the same subject, right? चलिए, have a good day people.